Okay. Mm. Hey everybody, and welcome to a fun candy experiment with marshmallows. What I'm going to do with this marshmallow, actually not this marshmallow, I've got a bunch of other marshmallows. This marshmallow I'm eventually going to eat. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at marshmallows in different cooking and maybe lack of cooking or almost opposite cooking, and decide what is the best way to eat a marshmallow. This is just a plain marshmallow. It's actually a maple flavored marshmallow, but it's room temperature, kind of squishy. I'm not a huge fan of marshmallows just like this. I don't mind them as an ingredient in things at this temperature and at this sort of consistency, but in general, room temperature marshmallow is just a big one. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm going to start here because this is the sort of, I guess, is the most common. This is how you find them in the wild. So there's something about the spongy texture that I'm not a huge fan of, but some people like them. I'm just not a huge fan. So we're going to look at other ways that we can enjoy this marshmallow. The first thing I thought that we would look at is this is a refrigerated marshmallow. So this has been sitting in my refrigerator for about 3 or 4 days now. It's a little bit cold. Let's see what it's like. It's kind of, it was a little chewier, but within seconds in my mouth, it's kind of got a little bit of coldness, but it sort of just turns into a regular marshmallow again. So, not really much of a difference. Refrigerating your marshmallows doesn't really do much. Now we're going to look at frozen marshmallows. It's literally like the refrigerated one. It's a little frozen in the center, but I was kind of thinking it might get hard or something like that, but it's just colder and it's a little bit harder, but the minute you take like 2 bites, it just turns into a regular marshmallow. I have to admit, I had some hopes that maybe it would get hard like a Lucky Charms marshmallow, but it's pretty much feels like the same thing. So next, for my next marshmallow, microwaved. Looks yummy, doesn't it? Okay. It's very sticky, as you can see, and it's very chewy, but I like it more than the regular one. It's sort of, it's nice. It's fun. It's kind of fun. You can tug it and play with it. And but it's very hard to deal with, so better but difficult. It took about 30 seconds to microwave that, by the way. Our next marshmallow, toasted. I toasted these in the oven. I don't have a fire pit or anything like that. So let's see, toasted marshmallow. So here's an interesting thing. You would think heating it up is all the same, right? Like, I mean, if you heat it up in an oven or if you heat it up in a microwave, it's all the same. But this one is not as sticky. And of course, it's got that wonderful sort of baked flavor that comes from the toasting on the top. But it's not as sticky either. It's a little gooier, but you know, it's not as like sort of stretchy. Like even when you pull it apart, it breaks a little bit easier than the other one did. So still is kind of messy, but I kind of like it. Put these between a couple of graham crackers with a chunk of chocolate, and definitely one of the great marshmallow treats. So, I would say of all of those, toasted is definitely my favorite. It was interesting to see the difference between the microwave and the toasted. I actually thought they'd sort of be the same in the center, but the microwave one is definitely a little chewier than the toasted one. So that's kind of a fascinating thing to notice. The cold ones were totally disappointing. I was so thinking, because The frozen one is feels a little denser, but once you bite into it, it just sort of like loosens up and explodes into regular marshmallow, which I'm not sort of a big fan of. So yeah, kind of disappointing. You know, there's no point in freezing your marshmallows. It's not going to do anything amazing. However, we're not done yet. I have a special treat. Now this looks like it's just a toasted marshmallow, but it's something a little different. This marshmallow has been both toasted and then frozen. So this is a frozen toasted marshmallow. So this is combining all of these things. So if you maybe, is this the ultimate treat? Let's see. Oh my God. It's like meringue. It's like a cookie. This turns marshmallows into cookies. This is brilliant. Pop your marshmallows in the oven for like 10 minutes at about 350. You know, until they get a nice little brownness, depending on the size of your oven. I use this toaster oven, so it gets really hot really quick. But then once they're sort of got a nice brownness, pull them out, pop them in the freezer, and you get this like chewy cookie. Oh my God, this is fantastic. I put it in the freezer for like 3 days, so if that's any indicator as well. It was amazing. Can't recommend it more. I mean, I like microwaved, it was okay. Toasted was definitely my favorite as far as just general temperature thing, but this is like a revelation. This is an experiment gone right, finally. I'm very sticky though, and I don't want to eat any more marshmallows, so I think we're gonna finish this off, but the best way to have marshmallows, toast them, then put them in the freezer. Absolutely fantastic. Well, thanks for watching another episode of our an odd candy experiment. As always, you can follow me on Twitter @CandyCritic, or go to candycritic.org and find links to all of my other social media, including Instagram and Tumblr and all that, Facebook and that kind of fun stuff. Also, make sure to go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/candycritic. There you will find links to there are a lot of links there. You'll get a bunch of extra content, a bunch of cool extra content, including bloopers. I had a really tough time starting this video. I think I'm going to post that on the Patreon right now after I finish filming this. So make sure to join that. You also get access to the complete archive of Snack Facts, which by the time this video comes out, I'm just finishing up the last issue right now, should be done. So depending on the tier that you're on, you'll actually have access to download the digital versions of all of them. And if you're at a certain level, you might even be eligible to get the complete collection delivered to you, the actual paper copies. So keep an eye open for that. And of course, you get extra videos. You get these videos ahead of time. There's often a weekend video, so keep an eye out for that. It sort of talks about what I'm doing and what's been going on in the Candy Critic world. But marshmallows, man, it's an amazing discovery. Baked, then frozen. Thanks for watching. See you next time.